Howdy, friends. These are some more observations over the last year, particularly looking at three components that I think N&D teams can do or can move towards to place themselves to be valued by their organization in the next year. Now, some notes on this. I have condensed this into a very short video. There is a lot to say about this. I will unpack more of that in my weekly newsletter. So if you're not part of that, you could subscribe by the link in my LinkedIn profile. And of course, there are going to be lots of different things that affect this. This is from the data that I see and experiences that I have. When people say to me, what are some of the things that we can do in 2025 as an industry to place ourselves in a position of value? I say this: reshape what we consider as workplace learning. And I do use those air quotes for a reason. We want to intelligently navigate the latest digital tech disruptions. That sounds very corporate. A lot of that is, of course, driven by generative AI. Intelligently is the key word here, and we will unpack that. And last one is to expand our view of skills for a modern L&D prog, especially when we talk so much about skills first approaches or skills, and the long growth job titles and such, is that I feel like we constrain ourselves too much on an L&D pro should look like X, when actually you can have a myriad of skills that you can call upon that is going to help you in your role, in your industry, other industries, and areas of life too. We'll break all of these down step by step. So the first one, reshaping workplace learning. You've probably heard this 100 times before, but I'm going to say it again. Most organizations work on the aspect of a quasi-education system where we all go through school, people talk at us for ages, we play this memorization game, and then our intelligence or capability is all based on memorization. That doesn't really work when you get to the workplace, and we keep pushing this learning agenda of learn, even though we're not sure people should be learning, how are they learning, what are the moments for that. For most organizations, what we're actually looking at is how do we create a culture of performance? Because at the end of the day, that's what organizations do. They want people there who can perform, who can do the role, who can deliver return on investment. That return on investment is the bottom line. Your organization does not care about the methodologies you use, the tech you use, whatever it is. They care about performance, which is why it's so important to align anything you do as an L&D team into the strategic goals of your business. What do they want to achieve? How can you support that? Now, the biggest element in that for me is so many people, so many teams say to me, I want to get the trust of my business. I want them to see me as a valued strategic partner, blah, blah, blah. What can you do there? First thing, it's not going to be easy, and it's not going to be simple, and it's not going to be something that you can change in a space of a week, a month, or even a year. It might be multiple years in this aspect. Again, this all depends on your context, the culture of your organization, the constraints that you have there. But at a very top level, if we look at the left-hand side of my screen, most businesses think we do this. Compliance, tip what exercises, fun stuff, classroom training, and really we're nice to have. What you really do is this, in my opinion, high-performing L&D teams. So we look at being consultants. We look at focusing on behavioral change. FYI, change takes a lot longer than you expect. We remove barriers. So we're not these like dragons that protect learning in the organization. We want to open gates. We want to remove barriers so everyone can access and have equal opportunities. And then, classroom training, we also work multimodal delivery, whatever that looks like for the person, depending upon where they are and what they're doing. What are the opportunities for them to engage in moments to improve their skills, their behaviors, their mindset so they can perform for the organization? And then lastly, instead of being a nice to have, how can you be a strategic partner? Aiming for those things on the right and building out more of those and working on your brand as a team to show you can do that is a big piece every year. It will be for probably more years, decades, even so. So this has to be in 2025. Especially when we look at the rise of generative AI, how that's affecting all industries, how that is making people uncomfortable, not feel as confident in the security of what they do and their place in the world of work and how they contribute. Actually, how we contribute is this way. And a lot of this is a lot of human skills, but obviously backed up and has some areas of enablement by tech as well. So if you want to move from here to here, this is what you have to do. Our second point was intelligently navigating digital technology. Look, there's always new digital tech. Things are always changing. It's really crazy right now with generative AI. It feels like everyone and their mum and their grandmother and their cat are AI strategists all of a sudden. Everyone is advising everyone. Everyone has the word AI in their job title. It's a crazy maze at the moment in time. One thing that is clear to me, and we see this backed up in the data here by Boston Consulting Group, is that everyone's using these tools in some way, but they don't know how to use it. That is the key thing about being intelligent here. And we can see, as it says here, that leaders know they want the workforce to have AI skills, and they can see that here. They know it creates value from studies that are out there. It can in many different contexts, but the vast majority of people have yet to start AI upskilling. That is crazy to me. They're like 2.5 years into this, and there is still not an intelligent approach to building out frameworks to help people develop the skills, the behaviors, and the mindset for this. What I will also say is that in L&D, in terms of building these skills, you're not alone in your organization. This is more of a change and behavior project, not just a training project to help people use tools. So in sum for this, yes, people are using these tools. Are they using them intelligently? Probably not. What can you do in 2025? Invest time and resources to build programs to intelligently help people use these tools. Build the behaviors, build the mindsets, give people the skills so they can understand the why, the what, and how of using generative AI technologies. Of course, loads more to say on that. Loads of stuff that I've already got on LinkedIn, on my newsletter that you can find on that as well. Adding on to that, in a specific L&D realm, I like to think there's a bit of an inflated view impact in L&D. That's probably going to be a hot take for some people, but these two kind of images give my view on it. Really is the expectations of Gen AI at L&D are high. The actual knowledge of most teams, like many industries, is pretty low. That just is what it is. And I think there's also this kind of great illusion of Gen AI's impact. LinkedIn will tell you it's all going to take over. The real world is that there'll be some stuff, right? No doubt. It's going to help. It's going to transform. There's going to be some enhancement, but there's still going to be L&D with humans. So do not feel like you're going to be replaced by a robot anytime soon. As I was mentioning before, context is everything in this. So people's use of AI and where they find value in generative AI is going to be different depending upon their context and their culture. So for most people, boring and basic stuff is quite sexy. Responding to emails, helping to structure stuff, assimilating basic information. Not everyone needs to be using these tools to make X amount of money or build teams or automate these things. Actually, just working on the boring and basic stuff that can help people with time, and at the end of the day, you can make more money, you cannot buy more time, is a huge ROI. If someone can say to you, I can give you back 5 to 8 hours a week to enable you to go do more human stuff, spend time with your family, do better things at work, you're going to do that. You don't need to be doing these kind of grandiose things all the time. So just keep that in mind with use cases. And as I've mentioned so many times before, and I share this chart probably 1,000 times this year, is that potential is huge for this tech, like with most tech, but in an organizational standpoint, it will take years for it to get to a level of maturity where people see useful use cases, where they see good case studies, where they see actual return on investment in terms of time saved from resource, more money made. All these things take time. There are little things, there are outliers, but those kind of big components, it will take time. But again, ROI, all contextual depending upon who you are and the organization that you're in. And our last component, and very, very important, is about expanding the skill set of L&D pros. As I've always said, the world is always changing. There is tech everywhere. We are in a digital world, or maybe a synthetic digital world, who knows? So we need skills. We all need different skills. And this is the same for any industry. The classic kind of T-shaped mentality, just being kind of deep in your own industry is not going to be enough anymore. My own take, and again, there's huge amounts of research and stuff behind this that I've already done, is these are the 7 skills that I promote and look for in every single, shall we call it, high performing modern L&D pro. And the reason why I say these things are a lot of these things are skills for life. People in L&D give marketing a bad rap, product management a bad rap, don't think they need to know tech. That is not true. These are key skills for life. Knowing how to use technology, how a product's made, how to market yourself, how to sell yourself. Core human skills that are going to help you in the L&D realm as well. And the final thing that I'll say is, in my own experiences, so the last 16, 17 years of being HR and L&D, the things that have given me my advantage or my edge that I call it are these 5. So they're not particularly L&D things. They are human things or human skills that allow me to do things best. I know how to write well. I'm able to market myself and sell ideas. I can tell stories. I'm able to take advantage of digital technologies. These are the things, no matter your role in an L&D setup or many industries, they're going to be really beneficial for you, especially when we look at the market today with all of the advancements with digital technologies like generative AI. So, my friends, I've said loads there, but in sum, when we go back to what we spoke about before, for L&D to be valued in 2025, reshape what we consider as workplace learning. Intelligently navigate latest digital tech disruptions like Gemini or anything else that comes down the barrel in the future, and expand your view of skills for a modern L&D pro. As I said at the beginning, much more to say about this, loads of detail and context behind it, but as a top level, these are my observations right now. I hope they've been helpful. Wherever you're viewing this, drop a comment and I will get back to you where I can. Last thing is newsletter. All of this I will talk about in depth in the newsletter. And final thing on top of that is I want to hear what you think L&D needs to do to be valued in 2025. So to help with that, I have built just a 1 question survey. That's it. It'll take you 20 seconds. And in that 1 question, I just want to understand, what do you think are the things L&D needs to do to be valued in 2025? So if you want to take the time, you want to participate in that, you can do that in the link in the comments where this post is, and I'll be sharing all of that research either towards the end of this year or early next year. But in that, I will talk to you in the next one.